Why do I want to be successful? Why? What's the point of doing all this? What's the point of cleaning gyms, scrubbing toilets, doing all this minimum wage work so that I have time to start my own coaching therapy business? Why? What's the point? So I don't have to work anymore? So I don't have to do difficult stuff anymore? Because no matter how successful my life gets, I will never be content. I will never be able to just do nothing, be successful. It's like so easy to get to this brief spot mentally where you seem to think that success is going to bring the ability to be able to coast through life based on things you've done before. Like you deserve to just coast. That would be terrible. That's why so many people get to that point of success and they're lost. They're more comfortable on the journey to success. I think as humans, we have something inside of us that longs for creativity. It longs for adventure. And really, it longs for like building stuff with our own two hands. Because every successful person I've listened to and that I'm currently listening to, they all kind of say the same thing. They wish they could go back and enjoy the journey more because they actually had like a strong sense of enjoyment, like manifesting stuff. To be in that place again where you're like, I wish I could drive a Range Rover. I wish I could live in this house, but I'm so grateful because let me tell you a little story. I was living at first I was homeless, and there were times where I was homeless where I'd be totally content. And usually it was at nighttime if I had my fix to get me through the night, and maybe a sleeping bag, and maybe a warm bank that was unlocked. Like, you know that area where you go and the debit machines are in the middle of the night? That would be like a very good content evening for me. And the thing is, it's because I could relax. I didn't have to run around and grind and, you know, steal and do whatever I had to do to get my stuff. And the nighttime is a tough thing when you're homeless. It's kind of like your whole day is spent preparing for hunkering down, staying warm, and getting a good sleep that night. When it's nighttime and you're homeless and you're hunkering down, you're evaluating your day, even when you don't want to. Thinking about what you could have done to enjoy your evening more, or what would have made a better evening. You're thinking about this stuff because you want to sleep so bad, but you're so cold, and you're so just dehydrated and hungry and uncomfortable. So like those odd nights where you're actually in a warm bank, you found a blanket, you got your fix for the evening, maybe you have some McDonald's, you feel like a king. You feel like I've arrived, I'm safe, I'm good tonight. And that makes all the difference. It's the same thing I noticed when I got out of homelessness and I was living in a homeless shelter, because I was rebuilding my life from the ground up at the homeless shelter. And I remember this one evening, and because I was clean and sober, I actually had a laptop and a cell phone, and I had a part-time job, and I was rebuilding. So there were some nights I was able to relax at the homeless shelter, and there'd be people all around me screaming. You know, the staff would be trying to get control, and I was just in the back corner on my top bunk with my headphones on, watching a movie on YouTube. The odd drunk person would try to come over and talk to me, but I'd just be in my movie. That's all. Wasn't worried about anything, and I couldn't hear anything. And I remember, you know, one night I got out of the shower, I was laying down, enjoying my movie, enjoying my snacks. You know, it was about 11 p.m. at night, and I was just thinking how content I was. How good it felt to be sober, how good it felt to be clean, warm, food in my belly, watching a movie. Despite the chaos that was around, I was like, this actually isn't too bad. You know, Not to a point where it's keeping me there. I was still moving forward, but eventually I ended up in my own little apartment. It was a bachelor apartment in a supportive housing unit, so it was my own little space. After I got set up, I had all my home decor from the dollar store, everything all set up with my candles. You make the most of what you got, and it's good for your soul. It feels good. I had all this stuff set up. I was again watching my movie, except this time on a TV and DVD player. I was watching a real movie, and I was thinking to myself how nice this is, how content I am. How this is the exact same way I felt in a homeless shelter when I was content and safe. That feeling of being safe and being content and being comfortable and warm, it doesn't change based on your luxury. It changes based on how you feel. So the way I feel now in my own independent housing that I pay rent every month for is no different than how I felt in the ATM, in the bank. It's all perspective. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I've arrived. I'm safe for right now. And I'm working towards a bigger picture and a greater future. That's the same feeling I had in the ATM. Like, even though I was on stuff, I knew my life was going to get better because I was going to put in the work to make it get better, and I was going to put in the work to be sober again. And that would bring me like a feeling of content that I can't even explain. So that rant is over. Why do I want success if it's not going to make me feel any better? Because it's not about what I can do with the money. It's about what the money can do, what I can do for others with this money, and what it can do for my soul. See, when I'm going to pour out money into others by opening sober living houses, by opening places where at-risk youth can come live and train and eat and learn about masculinity, learn about community. When I buy these houses one day that I turn into community centers to help strengthen my community, it's like, that's gonna heal parts of me that spending money on myself never would be able to come close to. And the amount of people I'm gonna be able to impact and help, and how I'm gonna be able to take my little community that doesn't have a Walmart anymore to the next level, you guys are gonna see. Because when I get to this level of success that I'm looking for and that I'm gonna get to, I'm not gonna just move to a big city and just live a lavish life for myself. I don't want that. That's gonna hurt me. Where I'm at in life and where I've been leads me to the conclusion that this is what I have to do, and this is what God wants me to do. Everything I've been through, every difficulty, every time I've been on the streets, in and out of every place I've been, it's been because God wants me to use this pain to help others turn their pain into strength. That's why God has instilled in me, my past is not a burden, it's my blueprint to success. It's not about what the money can do for me. It's about what I can do with the money for others. That's rich. That's character. That's strength.